In an interview on the Call Her Daddy podcast, Khloé Kardashian revealed how much each family member gets paid for starring on the reality show. Now, Khloé confirmed long-standing speculation that everyone in her family, including Kris Jenner, Kourtney Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, and Kylie Jenner, all get paid equally for their Hulu reality show, The Kardashians. Now, when host Alex Cooper asked Khloé if it was true that you and your sisters are all paid the same amount on The Kardashians, during a lightning round of questions on the April 16th episode, Khloé said true. In a follow-up question, Alex asked Khloé if she and her family members, all of whom serve as executive producers on the series, are allowed to cut any footage that you don't like. Yes, Khloé says, but it's more vanity things that we would cut, she added. Khloé noted that her mom will occasionally request a cut, and Khloé emphasized that her storylines more or less air as they happen. As she noted, there are plenty of more substantial moments involving herself that she would have loved to cut from the series but didn't. I mean, trust me, she says with a laugh. I would have cut way other I've never cut anything crazy. Now, with all of these sisters getting paid the same, it kind of makes sense why Kim has gotten mad at Kourtney over the years for not being on the show as much and not being open, because they're all being paid the same amount, even though Kim is usually the one who does the most work. Khloé has called out her older sister Kim about her parenting style and being a hypocrite. Now, the two sisters were caught fighting in an episode of their show, and their mother Kris Jenner even got involved, and she's on Khloé's side. In the episode, Kim explained that her daughter North was in China with her father Kanye, and Kim had been video chatting with her. Now, while Khloé doesn't interrupt Kim checking in with her daughter, she says in a confessional, "You're the one, not even a year ago, is fighting with me for saying goodnight to my child, and you were on the phone with North for a couple of hours." Now, clips are then played where Kim can be seen aggressively schooling Khloé on maintaining a healthy distance from her children every now and then. "Get away from your kids, live your effing life," Kim says. Then Kris speaks up and says, "We've spent more than half the trip on the phone with your children. You gave her so much for checking in with her kids," said Kris. Now, Khloé immediately added, "For 3 minutes, like I made sure they were short because I didn't want to be rude." But yeah, I totally understand Khloé's frustrations with this, and it's good that she called Kim out. Khloé also revealed that her family has a hard time trusting people. Why? Well, Khloé says her former personal therapist betrayed her and leaked guarded secrets from her private life during her troubles with her then-husband, Lamar Odom. Khloé revealed in a new interview that she sought help in 2013 as her relationship with Lamar was not looking good. Now, Khloé and Lamar were reported in the news to have been in private couples counseling for months at a time. Now, although Khloé did not detail who the mental health provider was, she did tell Bustle that she has no doubts as to what private information was released. The reality star said, "I remember I was going to therapy, and the next thing I knew, something private I told my therapist was on a tabloid. And I knew that my therapist disclosed this information to a tabloid because there's no way this could have gotten out there." She added, "It was very jarring and sort of unbelievable, but there's not a chance in the world that it came from anywhere else." So, due to this, she left her therapist, but wow, I can't imagine having to go through something like that. Therapists have a duty to protect their clients, and this one just did the opposite. Khloé Kardashian just revealed that her brother Rob Kardashian might make an appearance on their reality show again. Now, Rob joined his family on Easter Sunday as her sister Kim posted a photo of all of them on her Instagram. Easter 2025, Kim captioned the post, "I couldn't get all the sisters, kids, aunts, cousins, and laughs in this pic, but the memories are so real. Happy Easter, everyone." Now, Rob brought his daughter Dream, who's 8, whom he shares with his ex Blac Chyna. Now, fans flooded Kim's comments with kind sentiments about Rob, who has stayed out of the limelight for years. But now, in a new interview, Khloé says he might make a return to the spotlight. Khloé teased her brother's possible return to reality TV during a panel with Scott Disick at Hulu's inaugural Get Real House event in Beverly Hills on Tuesday, April 22nd. When asked if she thinks Rob will make another rare appearance on The Kardashians, Khloé said, "I really do. I always have my faith and confidence in Rob." So it seems like fans will have to keep an eye out for him. Now, Khloé is not one to sit there and let someone drag her sister's name, So in 2022, when Kanye West brought an issue about Kim to social media, Khloé had none of it. Now, Kanye claimed that Kim basically kidnapped their daughter Chicago. "You are lying and are liars," he wrote on social media. "Y'all basically kidnapped Chicago on her birthday so she could remember her father not being there. Travis Scott gave me the address of my child's party. That's how y'all play with black fathers." But Khloé hit back at Kanye online, saying, "I don't want to do this on social media, but you keep bringing it here. You are the father of my nieces and nephews, and I'm trying to be respectful, but please stop tearing Kimberly down and using our family when you want to deflect." Now, Khloé also implied that Kanye's repeated references to being excluded from Chicago's West birthday party were made up by the rapper. Again, with the birthday narrative, she continued, "Enough already. We all know the truth, and in my opinion, everyone's tired of it. You know exactly where your children are at all times, and you wanted separate birthdays. I have seen the text to prove it, and when you've changed your mind and when you wanted to attend, you came," she said. Now, Khloé has just admitted that both her sister Kim and her mom Kris knew of instances in which her exes Lamar Odom and Tristan Thompson cheated on her. Kim has known about the cheating. "I think both of the cheating stuff. I think Kim found out first," Khloé said during an episode of Call Her Daddy, "which is crazy. And then my mom with my ex-husband, she knew things before I did and had to tell me," Khloé said. Now, Kim was famously on camera when she learned about Tristan cheating on Khloé while she was pregnant with her first child, True Thompson. "When Kim found out that Tristan was cheating on me, she was about to sit down for Keeping Up interviews, and it happened when she was in the interview chair," Khloé recalled. "I don't know if as much would have been shown if that's not how it was unfolding in real time. We just happened to be filming all the effing time," she said. Now, while obviously upsetting, Khloé was glad that her family found out and told her. "I would rather a family member than a stranger. I don't like that any of this stuff happened, but I would rather it them. I'm not someone that gets mad at the messenger," she said. And finally, Khloé is the main reason why people know about her family's affiliation with the disgraced music mogul Diddy. When Khloé was in high school, she actually interned with Diddy. She was with him in the studio and helped him with his show Making the Band. Now, Khloé has been very open about her friendship with Diddy, as she had him on an episode of her show Cocktails with Khloé in 2016, where the pair reminisced about their past. Now, Khloé also spoke with her sister Kourtney about Diddy's parties and just hanging out with Diddy in general. Khloé has also made many posts online talking about Diddy parties. She took to Instagram back in 2019 to share a series of pictures from a Diddy party, and she captioned the post, "Nothing like a Diddy party." In the pictures, she was seen posing alongside the rapper and her sisters, Kim and Kylie Jenner. Now, fans have been commenting on the pictures following P. Diddy's arrest, saying that the post hasn't aged well and should probably be deleted. But the thing is, it's still up on her page today. Now, we all know that Kim Kardashian has her brand Skims, and she has celebrities promote it in different types of ads, but in 2024, one of these celebrities was Lana Del Rey. However, in March, rumors started swirling that Lana was being sued for $1 million for allegedly failing to promote her 2024 Skims collaboration as an ad on social media. Now, the rumor gained significant traction after a tweet from Pop Tings on Twitter said, "Kim Kardashian is reportedly suing Lana Del Rey over her Skims partnership, claiming the singer failed to disclose the post as an advertisement." Days before this rumor started, an article noted that Lana's Skims campaign was being reviewed by the National Advertising Division. NAD reviewed 3 Instagram posts by Lana from January 2024 that featured Skims, either mentioning the brand by name or tagging Skims. NAD noted that Skims had taken steps to ensure its contracted influencers comply with FTC guides, influencers, and monitoring its influencers to inform them of insufficient disclosures, they wrote in a statement. Now, Lana addressed these rumors though, saying, "No, this isn't happening," she wrote in response to being sued. "Not as far as either one of us know. I don't know where this started, but if it does for some reason have to happen because of guidelines, then we'll handle it. But never an end to a friendship," she said. Now, TMZ also confirmed the falsehood of the lawsuit, reporting that the claims were categorically false, according to a source close to the situation. So it seems like for now, Kim isn't suing her friend, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Kim and Khloé Kardashian have been caught fighting over their parenting styles on new episodes of their show. Now, Kris Jenner has even gotten involved, and she's on Khloé's side, calling Kim a hypocrite. Now, in the episode, Kim explained that her daughter North was in China with her father, and said North is in China with her dad and she's performing with him, but you know she's still my baby, so she calls me for everything. The scene then cuts to Kim on a video call with North. Now, while Khloé doesn't interrupt Kim checking in with her daughter, she says in a confessional, "You're the one, not even a year ago, is fighting for me for saying goodnight to my child, and you're on the phone with North for a couple hours." Clips are then played where Kim can be seen aggressively schooling Khloé on maintaining a healthy distance from her children every now and then. "Get away from your kids, live your effing life," Kim says. But now, in the present time, Kris speaks up and says, "We've spent more than half the trip on the phone with your children. You gave her so much for checking in with her kids," says Kris. Khloé then immediately adds, "For 3 minutes, like I made sure they were short because I didn't want to be rude," she said, talking about the FaceTimes. But Kim, being Kim, says it as she sees it, and said, "Honestly, you'd freak out. She's in China. You wouldn't even let your kids go to another country without you." Now, there's no problem for Kim checking in on her children, but she shouldn't have complained about Khloé doing the same thing. Fans are currently accusing Khloé of getting a nose job. Now, Khloé recently posted a carousel of pictures with her son Tatum Thompson, and the two pictures showed a smiling Khloé holding her son as the two looked into the camera. But fans immediately started pointing out how different her nose looks. Someone created a Reddit thread claiming that Khloé has a new face and posted one of the pictures from the Instagram post. Another user quickly commented under the thread and wrote, "There's something going on with that nose," while another believes that Khloé facetuned the photo. Now, in the past, Khloé has openly admitted to undergoing a rhinoplasty in 2019, and she discussed the procedure and other things she's had done in interviews and on her reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So, due to this, some fans think she went under the knife again. And what do you think? I mean, her appearance changes all the time, and I honestly wouldn't be that shocked. Kim and Kanye West have had quite a public fallout over their daughter North West this year, and Kanye's actions have resulted in Kim apparently asking for sole custody of her children. You see, this year Kanye has been acting crazy. He pulled an insane stunt on the Grammys red carpet with his wife Bianca Censori, he's been hanging out with some terrible people, and he's been going on rant after rant on Twitter, writing the most disgusting and problematic things ever. Not to mention, Kanye ignored his agreement with Kim and added North to a song with Diddy. Yeah, after Kim told him no. Now, TMZ reports that their custody agreement included having an equal say in decisions regarding their children, and Kim was opposed to their daughter being a part of the song, but Kanye went ahead with letting her record it and even teased the track. In leaked texts from Kanye, "I asked you at the time if I could trademark her name, you said yes. When she's 18, it goes to her, so stop. I sent the paperwork over so she wouldn't be in the Diddy song to protect her." Kanye then replied, "And neither of us will recover from the public fallout. You are going to have to kill me." Now, the former couple attended mediation required in time of conflict per their divorce settlement, and Kanye agreed to not officially put out the track unless North was removed. However, the version featuring her was already circulating on the internet by that point, so the damage was done. He later worsened the situation for himself by tweeting, "The man makes the final decision." Yeah, I don't blame Kim for wanting sole custody at all. There has been a long-standing rumor that Justin Bieber is the father of Kourtney Kardashian's son Reign and not Scott Disick like we all thought. Now, it's true that at one point Kourtney and Justin hooked up and had some kind of weird relationship, but now Reign himself has denied these allegations. He joined his stepsister Alabama Barker's boyfriend on an Instagram Live and addressed the wild, long-standing rumors that his real father is Justin Bieber. Reign shocked fans when he responded responded to a viewer who asked if Justin was his dad. "No, he's not, bro, I swear. Justin Bieber is not my dad. Scotty is my dad," he declared. "I don't know how old my mom was, but I think Justin Bieber was 16 when I got born. I don't think my mom would do that," he said. Now, sources are saying that Kourtney is furious about this though. An insider said Kourtney has never talked to Reign about the rumors, and she would imagine this was the first time he had ever heard them. Kourtney was livid. She told him that there are so many silly rumors about the family and that he's not to believe anything. She tries to keep her kids away from this stuff, but as they get older, she's unable to as easily. Now, another rumor surfaced earlier this year that Mason Disick, Kourtney's oldest son, secretly fathered a baby. Yeah, last year Mason created his first ever Instagram account, but that came with other people impersonating him. And as a result of this, unfounded claims began spreading across social media, with some accounts even sharing photos of a baby girl, falsely alleging that Mason had secretly welcomed a daughter named Piper last year. Now, the Kardashians caught wind of this though, and Kourtney put an end to it. "I rarely address rumors or conspiracies regarding myself or my family, but this is about my child, and it feels wrong to let anyone think for a second that these lies are remotely true. They are not," she wrote on Instagram. "Mason does not have a child. These accounts that pretend to be him are definitely not. They are fake," she continued. "My son really values his privacy, and I'm asking all media to please be respectful. He is a kid with feelings and a beautiful life ahead of him. Please stop spreading false narratives and spinning lies. And to all the people making videos about my kids, who by the way are minors, please stop and leave them alone," she said. The Kar-Jenners grew up on screen for all of us to see, and while there was drama on screen, apparently there was some behind the scenes as well. When the show first started in 2007, it said that the Kardashians, especially Kendall and Kylie, were very nice to the crew for the show. But as the years went on and they got more famous, they turned into monsters who had no respect for those who worked on the show. According to The Sun, the Kardashians repeatedly berated crew members and made unreasonable demands on anyone in their path. Additionally, the girls often try to direct what happens or demand multiple reshoots of simple moments on the show to place themselves in the best light they can at the expense of the rest of the family and crew, a source said. Now, this isn't a good look for them at all, and they should honestly be ashamed. Now, Kim Kardashian's marriage to Kris Humphries was something, let me tell you. Now, they dated for 6 months before they got married, and this might be due to all the money that they were making or were going to make. Kim was paid $1.5 million by People magazine for their wedding photos alone. They also got $300,000 for their engagement announcement, and then was given even more for both her bridal shower and honeymoon pictures. Not to mention, the pair got a bonus check from airing their wedding on Keeping Up. But things went downhill after that though, as just 72 days later, Kim filed for divorce from Kris. Yep, the marriage only lasted 72 days, which is honestly just embarrassing. Now, Kris was blindsided by this as he felt that they were truly in love, but he cited fraud as a reason for wanting an annulment. Now, Kim's paperwork stated irreconcilable differences for hers. Now, following their split, Kris's lawyer told a Los Angeles fraud court that Kim had no intentions of proceeding with this marriage. Jonathan Jackson, who worked with Kim between 2007 and 2009, said the pair's union was a publicity stunt. Speaking on Good Day LA back in 2011, Jackson said, 2 weeks prior to her wedding, she knew it was not something she wanted to do. Unfortunately, they were obligated to honor contracts with E!, the network which had TV rights, otherwise they would have owed a lot of people a lot of money. Now, this is so unfortunate, especially for Kris, as he was practically used. And then there's everything that happened with Lamar Odom and Khloé. Throughout 2013, countless stories circulated about Lamar cheating on his wife Khloé. Later on, Lamar admitted to struggling with addiction and infidelity from early on in his marriage to Khloé. There were too many strippers to count, he said in his memoir. Now, Khloé actually grew suspicious and hired a private investigator to track her husband. And while all this was going on, the couple put on a happy front on keeping up with the Kardashians and their own spin-off show, Khloé and Lamar. Now, in 2013, an insider claimed Khloé had not only photographic proof that Lamar cheated on her with at least 5 different women, but had copies of text messages between Lamar and the other women. She is a very smart woman and knew she had to get the proof because of the infidelity clause in their prenup, the source said. Though Khloé would later talk about Lamar's cheating on Keeping Up, she didn't do so until his cheating was widely publicized. And all of Lamar's issues were publicized by the Kardashians themselves. You see, not everyone in the family knew about the substance misuse and the cheating, but someone in the family was tired of it. It said that it wasn't until Rob Kardashian learned of Lamar's dark secrets that he helped push Lamar out. While it hasn't been validated, Lamar still claims to this day that it was the Kardashians who revealed his dark secrets to the press, which then drove a wedge between him and Khloé. Now, Lamar even said that Kris Jenner orchestrated an incident after their divorce to get more press surrounding their broken relationship. But of course, no one in this family would admit to all of that though. And then there's the fact that pretty much all the Kar-Jenners have gotten some sort of plastic surgery and have never admitted to it. In addition to that, some of them have even had their plastic surgery removed or reversed and lie and say they've been working out or have just been eating healthy. But I mean, we all know the truth. Now, a lot of people have pointed out that Kim has had liposuction and fat implants, but she has denied it. And then, after her daughter North was born, it was even more apparent that she got more work done, but once again, she denied it, but we seem to know the truth. There have been rumors since the beginning of time that Khloé Kardashian is not actually a Kardashian at all, and now we may have some proof. Numerous sources have reported that Kris Jenner told Robert Kardashian repeatedly that Khloé was not his daughter. According to RadarOnline.com, they also claim Kris paid her hairdresser, Alex Rowland, $30 million in a non-disclosure agreement to keep quiet about the situation, as some people claim that he's actually her father. Now, this makes sense because Kris Jenner is known for being a serial cheater, so it very well could be a possibility. Now, Kim Kardashian was investigated by the FBI after getting $250,000 in a trash bag. Yep, you heard that right. Now, according to a March 2023 Bloomberg Businessweek report, Kim was questioned by the feds as a part of an investigation and a mogul at the center of an embezzlement scandal. Now, in 2019, Kim told the FBI that she once played baccarat in a Las Vegas casino with Lowe and others when she ended up winning big. Now, Lowe allegedly told Kim to keep the chips she won, which were worth $350,000. Now, Kim told the FBI when she went to the casino counter to cash out, she was handed $250,000 in a trash bag full of 100 bills. Now, she put the trash bag full of cash in her carry-on bag and boarded a Southwest Airlines flight back to Los Angeles, the FBI agents wrote. Now, on a later trip to Vegas, Kim collected the remaining $100,000, again in a trash bag full of cash, which is honestly just weird. Now, Kim Kardashian has been accused of mistreating her workers by not paying them, which is messed up. In May 2021, Kim was sued by 7 workers accusing her of wage theft, retaliation, and more. The complaint alleged that cleaning and maintenance workers at her Santa Monica home weren't paid for all the hours they worked, didn't get overtime pay, weren't given required meal and rest breaks, and didn't get any pay stubs or documents related to employment. Kim has largely tried to deflect the blame by saying this was the fault of a company she hired to manage the workers. Now, the case, which was ongoing, has been pushed under the rug by the family, who never addressed the scandal themselves. And apparently, a lot of keeping up with the Kardashians was fake. Now, Kris Humphries spoke out about this after his short-lived marriage to Kim. He told a source, "Kris says that Kim's reality shows are a total sham. He doesn't think there's anything real about the shows at all." Now, the source also references one of the most quoted scenes of the show, in which Kim loses an earring after being thrown into the ocean by Kris during a family trip. Kim was crying hysterically, but then miraculously, one of the younger sisters found the earring in the ocean, where the group had been swimming. But they said that Kim didn't actually lose her earring, that the move was a publicity stunt to get views, the source said. Which, yeah, I do honestly believe this point. And finally, we have to address Kim's adult film that was released with her ex Ray J. Now in 2007, the tape was leaked online, and it's how Kim rose to fame. The talk of the tape was a prominent topic on the first season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and it made Ray J a villain. But Ray J has since come out and said that he had nothing to do with the tape being released, and that it was all up to Kim and her mother Kris. He said, "I sat in the shadow for over 14 years, allowing the Kardashians to use my name, to abuse my name, making billions of dollars over a decade and a half, talking about a topic I've never really spoken about. I've never leaked anything, I've never leaked a tape in my life." Now, Ray J claims that Kim and Kris negotiated the release of the tape in the early 2000s. Kris apparently watched 3 different Ray J and Kim tapes and chose to leak the one that gave her daughter a better look, which honestly is just gross. Now, Ray J also claimed that Kim has the videotapes in a box under her bed and that he's never been in possession of the tapes. Now, Kris Jenner has denied playing a role in the whole scandal, but Ray J says she's lying and that it was all her plan.
Kylie Jenner is no stranger to the luxuries of life, like private planes. Stars do sometimes need access to private flights for security reasons, but social media was up in arms in July of 2022 after the reality TV star took a 17-minute flight. The star took her private jet a couple cities over, and people online calculated that the flight could have been a 45-minute car ride. I personally don't get the short private jet flights just because after driving to the airport, getting on the flight, taking off, touching down, getting off, driving from the airport, wouldn't that all exceed 45 minutes? You can tell I've never been on a private plane. Other social media users were quick to point out just how much carbon would have been released from the short flight, about a quarter of the average person's annual carbon footprint, or 1 ton. The 45-minute car ride would have had a significantly lower impact on the environment. This isn't even the worst flight Jenner has reportedly taken. In June, she had taken a flight that was just 9 minutes. Social media users have called out the star for this behavior, some calling her a climate criminal. July of 2020 revealed that the makeup millionaire Kylie Jenner is accused of being a bad tipper. A video shared to TikTok by a former Manhattan restaurant hostess details her opinions on different A-listers she met while working at the restaurant. The video features names like Hailey Bieber and the Hadid sisters, both talked about in positive light. Jenner, unfortunately, did not receive the same treatment. The hostess clarified that the reality TV star's behavior wasn't an issue, saying that she was fine. It was the bill at the end. The former hostess claimed that Jenner tipped $20 on a $500 bill. The former hostess ended her bit about Jenner saying, "Do with that what you will," and rated the star as a 2 out of 10 guest. This did cause some controversy online, some people agreeing that Kylie should have tipped more, around 20% instead of 4%. That would have been about a $100 tip. Others are saying that maybe the service wasn't great and $20 isn't that bad. Let me know your thoughts on the situation in the comments. Timothée Chalamet's fan base had a meltdown after videos of him smoking at the Beyonce concert he attended with Kylie went viral. The elusive Hollywood couple makes few public appearances together, so all eyes were on them at Beyonce's September 4th concert last year. Most of what was seen was just kisses and cuddles, but one particular Timothée action had fans clutching their pearls, but for good reason though. Timothée is seen in a video from the event smoking. This does break the rules of the venue, and fans were not happy about that. Timothée Chalamet smoking is not necessarily the biggest surprise. There are photos of him doing it before, lots of people in Hollywood do it, but smoking inside the stadium is definitely not very nice to those around him. This next point is like whiplash. Kylie is known for being active on social media, posting on her Instagram story frequently. For such a major star, usually posts are like planned to complement each other, but in this case, the two could not have been more different. Back in the very beginning of 2020, Jenner took to her Instagram story to raise awareness for what was happening in Australia at the time with all the devastating fires. Particularly, Jenner's Instagram story post was about the large amount of animals that had passed due to the fires and how sad that was and how people could help. It was a great message, exactly the thing to do to raise awareness. However, shortly after posting this message, Jenner posted posted photos of her new slippers to her story. Her new mink fur slippers, real fur. Fans thought this was an incredibly inappropriate thing to post, wearing fur right after making a big post about saving the animals in Australia. Many social media users were quick to weigh in on the controversy, one writing, "Kylie posting a story about the AU fires, then a story of her mink LV slippers is my favorite new definition of tone deaf. The slipper slip up wasn't a good look." Maybe the most hilarious of the secrets on this list would have to be the Timothée Chalamet spreading chlamydia around the NYU campus. It's not true, apparently. The reason this rumor even started is just as wild as the rumor itself. Allegedly, according to fans online, the rumor started from a fanfiction. This happened in a fanfiction, I guess, and everyone just started taking it as fact. Not to say that there is no truth to the rumor. I personally don't know him, so I can't tell you exactly what he got up to in college. Kylie's lip kits and her plastic surgery caused some ruffled feathers when it was first revealed the star received the procedures. Kylie getting exposed for receiving plastic surgery isn't necessarily that bad. She is absolutely allowed to do whatever she wants to her body, it is hers. What people had a problem with is that she was using it to sell her lip kit products. Most of the marketing for her famous lip kits was about how it would make your lips look bigger, just like Kylie's, that all you needed for the plump lip look was a Kylie Jenner lip kit. Only that wasn't true at all, even for Kylie. Her famous pout was achieved not just through makeup, but also plastic surgery. Many said this marketing was creating unrealistic expectations and was contributing to body image issues among younger fans. Now Kylie is more open about the procedures she received. Kylie Jenner admitted in an interview that she uses her housekeeper as an arm model for her makeup swatches. While being interviewed by Fast Money, Kylie dropped this interesting confession. She revealed that the reason why she picked her housekeeper to show off the highlighter swatches was because she has the best arms for swatches and she's so nice and just sits there and has her arm ready and lets me do my thing. So it seems like her housekeeper enjoys being there, which thank goodness. Still, people found the entire thing a little odd and were quick to criticize the situation, especially how Kylie spoke of her housekeeper. Many said that the way Kylie was speaking about her housekeeper was akin to how one might speak of a pet, and were also pointing out that this wasn't a housekeeper's job and that they hoped Jenner at least compensated her for the modeling. Though Jenner being able to do this does indicate a good relationship, so surely her housekeeper must be fine with it. It's been happening for years, but in 2024 it was revealed again that one of Kylie's brands stole designs from a smaller business. In the post, Kylie's makeup brand had stolen photo shoot ideas from a makeup artist on Instagram, but this time it's all about Kylie's clothing line, Kai. Australian brand Johansson is known for a specific silhouette. It looks classic and it has like twisted sleeves usually, and they've actually dressed Kylie Jenner before. The owner of Johansson was surprised when Kai's new collection dropped because it looked incredibly similar to many of the company's designs. Jessica Johansson took to TikTok to express her frustration and show comparisons of the two brands side by side. From what I saw, they are almost identical. Pair that with the fact that Kylie knows the brand and has worn the clothes, it's not looking good. This isn't the first time Kai has been accused of stealing designs. Before this, in 2023, designer Betsy Johnson accused the brand of the same thing. This is not the Betsy Johnson, the American designer, this is someone else. She was a model and is from Grimsby. Johnson at this point had recently announced a line called Products and was met with praise. It featured lots of leather and made a point to look luxurious. Kylie's brand released a line that had striking similar design ideas. Turns out Johnson had sent some emails to Kylie's product team months before the drops. In an Instagram story, Johnson wrote, "We emailed Kylie and her team Products Ltd concept and language and a line sheet 6 months ago. Interesting concept, Kylie. Interesting. Thanks for the cosign." A line sheet is a tool used to showcase clothing and the info about selling it wholesale, so it probably would have had a lot of the product's designs on it. Not a good look. The summer of 2020 was the backdrop for the shocking accusation that Kendall and Kylie didn't pay their workers. Claims were made against the sisters' shared brand, Kendall and Kylie, that they weren't compensating workers in Bangladesh for their work. The alleged reason why was the COVID-19 pandemic. An article from Remake was published in June of 2020, and it was the first to bring this claim to light. Here's the thing, were Kendall and Kylie directly responsible for paying the workers? Technically no. Everything went through the company they were working with, Global Brands Group. So the claim was actually against them. The claim was that they refused to pay its garment suppliers for orders produced in February and March following a drop in sales caused by the coronavirus pandemic. The sisters did address the claims publicly in a statement on Instagram, writing, "We would like to address the unfortunate and incorrect rumor that Global Brands Group owns the Kendall and Kylie brand and that we have neglected to pay factory workers in Bangladesh as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is untrue. The Kendall and Kylie brand is owned by 3072541 Canada Inc. not GBG. The brand has worked with CAA GBG in the past in a sales and business development capacity only, but we do not currently have any relationship at all with GBG. So though they had been affiliated in the past, it was not the case anymore, and it was an unfortunate accident that the sisters were brought into the conversation. Kylie Jenner made history and truly became King Kylie when she was crowned Forbes' youngest self-made billionaire ever at age 21. It came out towards the end of 2020 that allegedly false tax returns had been used to prove Kylie's billionaire status. So she wasn't actually a billionaire, still very, very, very rich, just not a billionaire. She was close to almost there. Her updated net worth at the time when Forbes revoked the title was just under $900 million. A report was published in the magazine after they had realized that they had been lied to. The report accused Kylie's mom, Kris Jenner, of being a key player in the falsehood. In the report, Forbes said, Kylie's business is significantly smaller and less profitable than the family has spent years leading the cosmetics industry and media outlets, including Forbes, to believe. The magazine did go on to clarify some things, saying, while we can't prove that those documents were fake, though it's likely, it's clear that Kylie's camp has been lying. Today, Kylie Jenner's net worth is estimated to be about $700 million. The only member of the family with $1 billion net worth right now is Kim Kardashian with a net worth of around $1.7 billion.
Kim Kardashian recently shared how she makes sure her kids aren't finishing all their Halloween candy. In an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live ahead of her American Horror Story Delicate Part 2 finale, the 43-year-old reality star and entrepreneur shared with Kimmel what it was like growing up next to Madonna in her childhood and adult years, and what it's like trick-or-treating with the Material Girl singer. Kimmel's like, I would imagine this is like a celebrity neighborhood, but like, you've got good candy, right? Kim was like, yes, and then Kimmel was like, Madonna allowed her kids to eat candy? She seems very healthy. And Kim was like, yeah, absolutely, she's very healthy. But I mean, I take it and then I throw it away, or I donate it. Kimmel was like, okay, so if you take away your kid's candy, next time videotape it. I'd like to have it. Kind of a hobby of mine, which obviously he was referring to his viral segment where every year, the day after Halloween, parents videotape their kids, telling them they ate all their candy, they send him the video, he plays it, and people laugh, or so I'm told. Apparently with fame comes the right to be slobs, at least according to the Kardashian housekeepers, who claim the girls never clean up after themselves, yet expect their rooms and closets to always be camera ready. Well, there's no doubt that the Kardashian women are busy with their multiple shows, their families, numerous business ventures. Some folks have argued that they don't have the right to be so demanding of the housekeepers who help to tend their homes, which I agree. This even led to a lawsuit in 2021, as reported by NBC News, with 7 workers, not 1, not 2, but 7, claiming that Kim Kardashian failed to pay overtime, cover expenses, and provide legally mandated breaks, while expecting her housekeepers to always be on call to pick up after her. Look, if you want luxury services, you've got to pay luxury prices. That's how it is. You've got to pay overtime. You got to pay expenses. You have to provide breaks. Legally mandated for a reason. Shayna Moakler, Travis Barker's ex-wife, went on a podcast and claimed that Kim Kardashian hooked up with him, which is a major bombshell considering Travis is now married to Kim's sister Kourtney. Not only that, but there was allegedly cheating involved. Yeah, Shayna claimed that Travis was seeing Kim behind her back and that Kim played a major part in the breakdown of their marriage. Now, this was during an appearance on the Dumb Blonde podcast, and Shayna revealed that she and Travis were working on their relationship when she was sent text messages between him and Kim from some anonymous source. What did those text messages say? They were trying to meet up at her sister's house to do the deed. Now, apparently when she showed the text to Travis, he had already deleted them. So yeah, she had reason to be suspicious. But what people can't seem to get over about this story is the fact that Travis might have been interested in Kim before he was into Kourtney. And that's something that would promote hurt feelings all around. But like, is Kim Kardashian really a homewrecker? Would she really go after her sister's man and not put it on TV? I don't know. Sounds unlikely to me. I feel like this should have been a storyline of some sort on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They say that as you get more and more famous, you get more and more lonely and isolated. Like, Kim K used to have a lot of high-profile celebs on her list of friends. We're talking Beyonce, even Taylor Swift for a hot minute. But her former assistant Stephanie revealed that Beyonce and Kim had quite the feud and often badmouthed each other, which hasn't become like super known because they did it privately in their homes. Stephanie also said that Kim has a hard time keeping friends because she thinks she's better than everybody else, and she tries to be better than everybody else too. Let's see, we've got a whole list of people that she's cut off over the years. Jordan Woods, Blac Chyna, and Drake. It's easy to judge someone who has a big ego, but would any of us act different in Kim's situation? Most of us will ever know, but like, Why would you think you're better than your friends? According to a March 2023 Bloomberg Businessweek report, Kim was questioned by the feds as part of this crazy investigation into the big Malaysian financier. I think his name is Zhou Lo, who was a mogul at the center of the big infamous 1MDB fund embezzlement scandal. So US prosecutors alleged that Lo had stolen at least 4.5 billion from One Malaysia Development Berhad, which was founded and led by a former prime minister. The Justice Department indicted Lo in 2018 for conspiring to launder billions of dollars stolen from the development fund and paying out hundreds of millions of dollars in bribes. And since then, he's been like a fugitive. I think he's living in China. In 2019, Kim told the FBI that she once played Baccarat in a Las Vegas casino with Lo and others, and she ended up winning big. Now, he told her, "Keep your chips," which were worth $350,000. And she told the FBI that when she went to the casino counter to cash out, she was handed $250,000 in a trash bag full of $100 bills. So she put the trash bag full of cash in her carry-on bag and boarded a Southwest Airlines flight back to LA. Once again, sketch. On a later trip to Vegas, Kim collected the remaining $100K, again, in a trash bag. Look, I don't know a lot of big gamblers, but this sounds sketchy. Don't you think? Let me know in the comments. The Kardashians are known to take many extravagant vacations and ventures, and one memorable visit to Bora Bora on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, people will know about it. Well, there, Kim reportedly lost her diamond earrings, leading the whole family to search the water for her prized jewelry. Naturally, losing something of such great worth and importance brought plenty of viewers in and sparked a lot of discussion online about the episode. Everybody was worried, where's Kim's earring? Seriously, like, there's people who have never seen a whole episode of the show, but if you quoted them, "Kim, there's people dying," they'd roar laughing. I'm not even a super fan. I quote it all the time. But the problem here, according to RadarOnline.com, Kim's ex-husband, Kris Humphries, said it didn't actually happen. Kim did lose her earrings. The move was a publicity stunt to get views. While this surely wasn't the only time Keeping Up with the Kardashians created a false moment, the lost earrings are a prime example of the lack of reality in the reality show. It also shows viewers should reserve judgment and sympathy when something happens on the show, since it might be fabricated for views, which is something we'll talk about more in a moment. We all know reality TV is quasi-scripted by this point in our lives. If you didn't, my bad. But like, when something is this heavily scripted, it's just annoying. When you hear about the Kardashians, you probably automatically assume they're entitled divas, and sadly, you're not wrong. Reports have surfaced that the Kardashians, especially the younger generation, were very kind to the camera crew when Keeping Up with the Kardashians first started in 2007. But as the show progressed, the family got a lot more famous, their kindness and respect for the crews they worked with dwindled, causing unpleasant and unfriendly moments, to say the least, behind the scenes. Ah yes, when fame and money reveal people's true colors. According to The Sun, the Kardashians repeatedly berate crew members and make unreasonable demands on anybody in their path. Additionally, the girls often try to direct what happens or demand multiple reshoots of simple moments on the show to place themselves in the best light they can, at the expense of the rest of the family and crew. Well, after learning how poorly they treat their staff, this probably isn't like a big surprise revelation to anybody, but like it's not a good thing, and probably something the girls want to keep under wraps. One of the most talked about events of Keeping Up with the Kardashians was Kim's extremely short-lived marriage to Kris Humphries. This marriage lasted less than 3 months and commanded headlines for like months if not years following the split. The whole situation was awkward and Humphries reportedly felt betrayed by Kim, feeling that the marriage was all in the name of ratings. The 72-day wedding will forever live on in infamy. And when you consider there's no such thing as bad publicity, I guess it was a boon for the girls. Why would they waste all that time and money? No. Why would you waste all that time and money if it wasn't going to work out? Who knows? According to the Washington Post, the marriage was meant for just PR, just to drive awareness and ratings for the show. In fact, Kim wanted her goodbye to Humphries to be on the show, but producers were like, it's a little much. These days, Humphries wants nothing to do with the family and has asked to be completely omitted from Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Sorry dude, wish you all the best away from this circus. This is probably one of the worst kept secrets, but it's worth mentioning. So easily one of the most controversial moments in the Kardashian saga is the release of Kim's intimate tape with Ray J. When the tape was first leaked, Kim sued the company to keep it out of the public eye. But a lot of folks have pointed out that Kim has made an impressive $5 million from the home movie. And it's possible that this leak was a publicity move. In fact, Ray J himself said it was Kim's mom, Kris, who actually released the tape. A lot of people believe the release by Kris was meant to drive attention to the family, and it worked. Only 6 months after the tape was leaked, Keeping Up with the Kardashians premiered with strong viewership. For her part, Kris did do a lie detector test on The Late Late Show with James Corden and said she had nothing to do with the leak. But like, who's gonna trust a lie detector test on a talk show? Also, who trusts James Corden? As one might expect from a reality TV show these days. Yes, I've already said it, not everything you see is real. And a lot of the events on Keeping Up with the Kardashians were staged, including Kourtney's vicious vocal battles with Scott. It's just bonkers. According to the New York Daily News, once the camera stopped rolling, the duo would laugh about the filmed fights and the drama, and they would discuss how it would drive viewership up. That being said, it's also been revealed that Scott has faced serious addictions, leading some folks to wonder if the fights on the show were real, they were scripted, they were a mixture of both, just playing off of the original fights. The assumptions made were, well, maybe the fights being fake was a cover-up for how serious the issues were in the relationship. Regardless, there's no denying the tension these fights created among fans of the show. The duo ended up splitting for good in 2015, and Kourtney is now married to the famous musician Travis Barker. I guess we'll just never know what's real, what's calculated with the Kardashian family.
At number 10, bribes. At this point, we all know that the Kardashians have a my way or the highway kind of attitude. They will get what they want by any means necessary, and we've seen this a few times over the Kardashians' respective careers, but one of the lesser known times that this sort of attitude came out was when Kris Jenner was trying to save her short-lived talk show. Mama Jenner dreamed of being a talk show host, but those dreams were sort of crushed when her talk show premiered in the summer of 2013. She got a series of reviews, and when she read them, she came across one that she really didn't like. One reviewer named Linda Stassi from the New York Post wrote a column about the show and called Kris a quote, "a demented Norma Desmond," end quote. Well, because Kris didn't like what Linda had wrote about her, she decided to send the writer a bribe of a dozen Magnolia cupcakes and a $325 sterling silver pen from Tiffany's, along with a note saying to write a better review next time. In the end though, this bribe didn't actually work because her show was cancelled not long after. At number 9, sweatshops. The Kardashians have faced backlash and scandal many times in the past, so really they're nothing new, but one of their more extreme scandals came from when one of their many clothing brands got exposed. In 2011, a Kardashian clothing brand came under fire after it was revealed that the garments were being produced by Chinese workers being paid 8 cents a day. Can you imagine these millionaires paying workers 8 cents? Insane, right? A non-profit organization called China Labor Watch, a group that fights sweatshops, released this information during investigation into the Kardashian brand. Of course, Mama Jenner came in and stepped in, and she claimed that they didn't know anything about that, going on to say, quote, "the factories are very well policed and meet factory standards," end quote. No one is talking about the factory standards, Kris. We're talking about basically not paying people for making clothes that you're about to sell for $100 a piece. That's the tea. Before we carry on dishing about the Kardashian secrets though, why not take a quick moment to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and while you're at it, maybe consider subscribing to the channel to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Kardashian divorce. Remember when Kim K was married to Kris Humphries? Yeah, that was kind of a blip in the Kardashian timeline, but hey, it still happened. They were only married for 72 days, but it was still messy, and their subsequent divorce was just as messy. The cameras for their show Keeping Up with the Kardashians showed off much of their tumultuous marriage, but the cameras were ultimately cut when it came to their divorce, but it wasn't for lack of trying. Kim wanted to film her goodbye call with Kris over Skype, where she was going to say her final farewells and tell him that she really loved him. But Kris saw right through Kim's attempt to get content out of their divorce and flat out refused, saying that he refused to ever be on another episode ever again. Honestly, I can't blame him for making that decision. At number 7, Nanny knows. The Kardashians have been exposed for a lot over the years by countless people. Honestly, this could be its own video in and of itself, if we haven't already done that. Anyways, one of the people that joined the Exposing the Kardashians club was the family's former nanny. The nanny, a woman named Pam Behan, exposed Kris for her parenting. Although Kris looks like a cool, fun mom, almost acting like one of the Kardashian sisters rather than a parent, according to the nanny, that is all a charade and couldn't be farther from the truth. Turns out that Kris was actually a really mean mom. She said that all of the girls were really shallow and even exposed Kris for being mean to Khloé and criticizing her for being overweight. On top of that, according to the nanny, Kris was also a stickler for healthy foods, saying that she was obsessed with keeping produce in the house, and she even exposed her for having a meltdown when she forgot to pick up broccoli. Now that is a very different side of Kris Jenner that we never get to see. At number 6, private investigator. Back to past Kardashian relationships, remember when Khloé Kardashian and Lamar Odom were a thing? Yeah, super messy, as most Kardashian marriages tend to be, but this one was ultra messy because it turned out that at one point
point, Khloé hired a private investigator to follow Lamar around to watch if he was cheating on Khloé. This was something that we didn't get to see on the family's reality show, but apparently the private investigator was hired to catch Lamar with at least 5 different mistresses. But why put all this effort into a supposed cheater? Well, it turns out that there was a specific clause in their prenuptial agreement that if one of them was caught cheating, then the divorce settlement payout would be larger to the other party. This means that with the help of her private investigator, Khloé would be able to get a higher settlement in the divorce. The things people do for money. At number 5, who started the show? The family's reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, has been on air for so long that it almost feels like it has been on TV forever. Obviously, it wasn't actually on TV since like the beginning of time, but it was certainly a staple in a lot of people's homes. This show really boosted the careers of all of the Kardashians, but who had the original idea for the show? Well, that's up for debate. According to Caitlyn Jenner, she wrote in her book that she was the one who came up with the initial idea for the reality show, not Kris, as many were led to believe. In the memoir, Caitlyn wrote that she told Kris about her idea for the show, saying, quote, "The house is awash in puberty and adolescence and young adulthood, and 2 parents with very different styles. It seems to me something is there for television." End quote. She then goes on to say that Kris then claimed to have come up with the idea for the show and then took it upon herself to pitch the show to Ryan Seacrest, and the rest is history. Talk about starting things off on a sour note. At number 4, always perfect. Kylie and Kendall Jenner are the babies of the Kar Jenner clan, and they were pretty young when they started to rise to fame. Because the cameras were always on them, and because they were starting to gain notoriety on their own, their mom Kris decided that they needed to look perfect at all times to make themselves and the family look better in the eyes of the media. In an interview with Cosmopolitan in 2017, Kylie opened up about this dynamic in her young life and revealed that Kris Jenner had nail techs come to the house every week to do the girls' nails to make sure that they looked as perfect as possible. Kylie said that because this was ingrained in her from such a young age, that this just became a habit of hers even going into her adult life, which is why we see Kylie flexing her new nails on the gram. In the interview, she went into further detail about having to look put together all the time, where she said, quote, "My mom would make us do it. She would have a nail artist come to the house once a week. She would make us get our nails done. She was like, you are never going to look like you're not put together, so we're always getting them done." End quote. At number 3, fake homes. You know how on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, when they start a new scene, a new place, they show the front of the person's house? Well, it turns out that's kind of a lie. The houses that they show in the reality show aren't actually the Kardashians' real houses. In the beginning, they used to show the front of the Kardashians' houses, but soon it became a safety issue as it made it easy for people to find them. Kim opened up about why they decided to use fake houses instead of their real exteriors, saying, quote, "My old home in Beverly Hills was really my home, and I would get people showing up at all hours ringing my gate, and I had to call the police on several occasions. People hopping the gate and scaring me. It was so unsafe. The Hollywood Star Tours would stop by too because they recognized my home from our show. After that, we realized how unsafe it was to show the exterior of our homes, so now we use different homes for the outside for security purposes." Though they do use different homes as the exterior shots, Kim did confirm that they do actually film inside of their real houses. At number 2, original goal. Keeping Up with the Kardashians became a mega hit where people just tuned in to watch the drama unfold with the Kar Jenners. I would be lying if I said that this show wasn't secretly my guilty pleasure. It's just so chaotic and I love it. But it turns out that the original purpose for the show wasn't just to simply keep up with the Kardashians. They had ulterior motives. According to Mama Kris Jenner, the original purpose for the show was to bring attention to the Kardashians' clothing stores Dash and Smoosh. Their store Dash became the focal point for their reality show spin-offs like Kourtney and Khloé Take Miami and Dash Dolls. During an interview with Variety in 2015, Kim shared how they wanted to use the show to grow their business, saying, quote, "When the opportunity for our TV show came about, I wanted to do it to bring attention to our stores. I was thinking this might not last very long, but will grow a great business and expand online. I thought it would be great press. I didn't think it would turn into what it turned into." End quote. Their stores ended up closing in 2018, but at that point they had so many other things going on and the show wasn't even boosting their business anymore, so really, who cares? And finally, at number 1, new phones. Even a pandemic can't stop the Kardashians from creating content. The 19th season of the reality show was filmed over the course of the lockdown, and it was all done from the inside of the Kardashians' mansions. How they managed to pull all of this off is a little crazy though. Because camera crews weren't considered to be essential workers during California's stay-at-home orders, the Kardashians had to get creative, and so they created a system where every week someone would bring them a new iPhone to film on. They had proper sets built in Kim and Khloé's homes with lighting and the whole 9 yards for their confessionals, but yeah, I still can't get past the iPhone thing. Apparently, a showrunner wearing head-to-toe protective gear would come to the Kardashians' home on Monday morning to bring them a brand new iPhone to start the next cycle of filming. These Kardashians are so crazy.
Kicking off the countdown list, number 10 is her lip injections. Is it really a Kylie Jenner list if it doesn't talk about her lips? I mean, I feel like that would be a sin not to talk about her lips. For years now, her lips have always been the most talked about feature on her body. Believe it or not. Her fans first noticed that as she started to grow older, she seemed to have fuller lips. And for a while, she was telling her fans that it was just lip liner and a photo filter, making them look more full. Over time, she did finally come clean about getting lip injections, and it was revealed that she had them done when she was just a teenager. Turns out she had her first injections when she was just 16 years old. And she said that she kept it a secret because she didn't want people to look at her as a bad influence. Because obviously when you're 16, you have a lot of young fans, and you don't want to be putting needles in your face at 16 years old. Girl, too young. You know what I saw? That just means Kris Jenner had to sign off on that because you will need parental consent. Coming in next at number 9 is the envy between Kylie and Kendall. When your entire family is famous and everyone has their own businesses running, one might think that there would be some kind of competition going on. I mean, some of their products and businesses are like a conflict of interest with each other. Like they're in competition. But because they are all sisters and they are all very successful, each sister has said that they do not feel threatened by anyone else. But there was some tea spilled and a source claimed that Kendall and Kylie have a secret rivalry that's never really talked about. The sisters seem to be incredibly close to us because of their small age gap and their many collaborations throughout the years. But a source told Radar Online, I quote, "There's so much envy between these two, it's as though they're not happy when the other one is doing well." Some little sister competition going on. I mean, I get that. I feel like there might naturally just be a little bit of envy there. Cruising into number 8 is her hair. Just by following her or seeing some of her pictures, you'd be able to tell that her hair is fake. She switches up her look often, usually sporting bright colored wigs or changing up the length and color of her real hair with hair extensions. But her appearance is important for her brand for many reasons. You probably never stop to think about why she keeps changing her hair. And I don't blame you because there are like a million other more important things to think about. But it turns out that she makes these changes on purpose. She said that changing her hair makes her feel like a new person. And many of us females can totally relate to that. Despite her brand having to do with some of it, there seems to be more personal reasoning behind it too. I mean, I can't say I've never dyed my hair, wanting to feel like a different person. Like, you know, post breakup, I gotta get new hair, I'm a new me. And spot number 7 is her weird collection. Having a collection is not uncommon, even having weird collections isn't uncommon. People collect things all the time, and it kind of just depends on what you think is weird or not. I personally collect stuffed animals, and I'm serious. I call them my furry friends and I love them. And I would love if you guys would let me know in the comments if you have a weird collection. This is a judgment-free zone. Yeah, let me know. But anyways, back to Kylie. Her collection is really random, and it's easy to think that it probably has to do with fashion or beauty or skincare, but it turns out it is not even close to that. Turns out she has a collection of rubber ducks and has been collecting them for years. When she was younger, the one thing she always asked for on her birthday was a rubber duck, and she said she still has some of her very first ones. I wonder if she'll pass them along to Stormi, because that would actually be really cute. Sliding into number 6 is the fact that she is shy. Now I know what you're thinking. The way she posts on social media, you wouldn't think that she is necessarily the shy type. She often posts pictures in barely anything clothing and in bikinis, showing off her skin and flaunting her curves. The reality is though, who she is on social media and who she is behind the scenes are two totally different people. She appears to have all the confidence in the world, but she's actually quite shy. She was speaking with People magazine when she let it slip that she is a lot more shy than people think, and in really busy situations, she gets anxious and shy very easily. She plays it off well though, especially seeing as there's cameras surrounding her every single day. She seems like a natural. So she is hiding that well. I did not picture her as like the shy type. We are halfway through and we have her secret on makeup. Forbes named her the youngest self-made billionaire after she started her own beauty company, Kylie Cosmetics. Her entire world revolves around makeup, quite literally, since it's basically her full-time income. Unlike her sister Kendall, she doesn't do modeling, and she isn't really in the fashion industry like her other Kardashian sisters. So it might surprise people to learn that even though she created a beauty empire around makeup, she doesn't actually like wearing makeup. She exposed her little secret and said that she only wears makeup because that's what her fans like to see on her social media. She says that she has a passion for makeup, but she doesn't personally like to wear it often, and that there is a difference between the two. I get that. I like makeup. Like, I'm intrigued by makeup. I like makeup. I don't like wearing it though. I can't wait to take it off. Moving along to number 4, Kylie is stubborn. Her biggest fans would love to think that they know everything about her. A big part of having celebrity status is that all your fans think they personally know you. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Like, people obsess over someone that they've never actually met and know nothing about. But even if you thought you knew what she was like, one of her traits that she might not want you knowing about is that she is incredibly stubborn. Welcome to the club, sister. I know all about that. There are many different words that can be used to describe her, and an insider dish that's stubborn is one of them. They said, I quote, "If you knew Kylie, she can be very stubborn. When she makes her decisions, she sticks by them." I mean, I feel like that's not necessarily a bad trait though. Or maybe I'm just saying that because I'm stubborn and I want to think it's a good thing, but in some cases, being stubborn isn't really a bad thing. Taking over the 3rd spot is she wants to live behind the scenes. If you look at her social media, you might get the impression that she loves all of the attention that she gets, but the truth is she doesn't. She doesn't like being recognized every time she goes out, and she would rather live a more private life. During an interview with Wonderland magazine, she said, "I want to be a businesswoman and behind the scenes. Kylie Jenner needs to retire." Girl, I hate to break it to ya, but your career is just getting started. She still chooses to live her life in the public eye, but admits that she hates a lot of the attention she gets and the pressures that come along with it. Realistically though, even if she didn't want to live in the public eye anymore, it's kind of too late for that. Like, she could never just go out and people weren't gonna freak out. In spot number 2 is her secret cousin. That's right, apparently Kylie has a cousin that has been behind the shadows this whole time. The craziest part is that she looks like a spitting image of Kylie. You may have already seen her on social media. Her name is Natalie Zettel, and she's the youngest cousin of the family and is a low-key Instagram model. People recently caught on to this unknown little fact, and no one is really sure why we are just finding this out. Natalie is the daughter of Kris Jenner's younger sister. People found out about her after a picture of her and Kylie started surfacing on the internet. When you see them together side by side without all the makeup and hair and wigs and all of that, you can tell that they're related, and it's kind of cute. She's beautiful. Finally, we have made it to number 1, and we have her pregnancy was unexpected. All right, so the majority of us, this isn't really a secret. I feel like we all assumed this anyway, but it's totally not fair to judge someone that we don't even know on whether or not they planned on getting pregnant. Because really, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. The world went into a frenzy when the rumors first started, and Kylie completely went MIA and hid it from the entire world. When she first found out about her pregnancy, she wanted to keep that moment for herself rather than live it out in front of the world, where she says that she would have been judged for it, which she probably would have because she was so young. She admits that she did not plan on getting pregnant, but that it was the most amazing experience nonetheless. I mean, I get it. If I was her age and had that platform and I unexpectedly got pregnant, the amount of anxiety I would have, I wouldn't even want to tell my own parents, let alone the entire world.